Hi there, YouTube family. Welcome again to another episode of Distance Bonds. In today's episode, we're focusing more on the realities that kicks in once your loved one is away. That means you're officially in a long distance relationship. Let's talk about this. Welcome. So, in our last episode, we talked about how I met my husband or how we both met. Welcome. I
Thank
didn't
you.
know you were joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was just about to start
Mhm.
and introduce our viewers to our today's episode.
Mhm.
And as I had mentioned before, the realities.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or when you finally start thinking in that you're in
he's
a
gone.
in a long distance
He's
relationship.
not close to me anymore.
Yeah.
Like I cannot just take a matatu to your place now
Yeah.
because the thing is, the guy is in the US. I am in Kenya.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So then, that one, I would like to know, like, what was your, what was going through your mind at this time, because I'm sure there was a lot of things going on through your mind, right? Of course, focused more on, how am I going to be communicating, how we're going to be
Yeah.
communicating,
Mhm.
and then, how we're going to be able to, maintain what we had started,
Mhm.
because it's easier to maintain and to grow a relationship when you're closer to each other. But now when you add the distance part of it, it brings its challenges. So I'm curious to know, like, what was going through your mind. Were you freaking out? Were you like, of course you're not excited, because no one like can get excited for separation.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to know what was going through your mind, and how you handle that.
It was honestly, it was scary.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, like I mentioned before,
Mm-hmm.
as much as I was focusing more on my career and all that, of course, we have different aspects in our lives, and this particular one
Mm-hmm.
was kind of heavy because it's kind of, like it's kind of someone like having a puzzle piece, right?
Yeah.
So this one, like I have 3 puzzles already, but I need one more to to
Yeah.
fill the whole piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this particular aspects that of love, or
Yeah.
of like just having someone close to you, someone you love, someone who's not a sibling, not, you know it was heavy for sure.
Yeah.
So just thinking about you being away from me,
Yeah.
and the fact that I have to deal up with that for like a couple of years.
For a long
Yeah,
time.
remember
Yeah.
when you told me about you're gonna be living, I remember you mentioned like being 5 years away from me.
Yeah.
And it kind of sounded easy for me, but honestly, few years after that, or even few months after that,
You're already
I was
like,
like,
what?
no,
What would
like
like?
no,
What
like
did
I
I?
wasn't prepared
What did
for
I
this,
get
honestly.
myself into?
Yeah, I know I said yes, I can wait for you, but honestly,
Yeah.
no. And now that is exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about reality.
Mhm.
Now the reality just kicked in,
You
and I'm
know,
like, this guy, like, honestly, like,
it's funny because
yeah.
my reality moment,
Mhm.
like a reality check moment, was actually even before, even before leaving Kenya. I can
Mhm.
remember it was on the plane.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was sort of on the plane.
yeah,
So I'm sitting on the plane,
yeah,
and so to karibu kutoka, right?
yeah.
And then so now the plane is about to like jet off. So now there's a now I'm listening to music,
Yes,
right?
yeah. I
And I
remember the
remember,
picture. Yeah,
remember I saw you that
yeah,
I sent you the picture,
yeah,
and it was I think it was a Tyler Cruz song.
yeah.
So he's taking me higher, higher, higher off the ground. So when we started like jetting up to Kianza Kutokoka, I was like, oh my God,
Mhm.
I am leaving my life behind,
Mhm.
and everything that I know, I'm leaving it behind. Once he imeanza kwenda juu sema like
Before
hebu
then,
shukisha,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
so when the plane started going up, I'm like, it's happening, pretty much like
yeah.
this is it. That was like my initial like reality moment.
Mhm.
And then of course now you're like, so now
Mhm.
it's not tomorrow, it's
Mhm.
not next week, it's
Mhm.
not on,
It's actually after 5 years.
it's who
according to,
knows?
yeah,
That was my
exactly, yeah,
estimate. That was my
exactly,
initial
yeah,
estimates.
yeah,
Because I was thinking, okay, when I come here, I have to settle, and then I have to,
so, yeah,
go through the citizenship before
yeah.
we can actually. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't going to be 5 years, but
I know,
that was
but
going to be
just
the
according to how like
yes,
people talk about it,
yeah,
like
for us
you
to
have
be
to stay here,
together,
yeah, exactly, for
yeah,
5 years and all that.
yeah,
So yeah.
for the citizenship, yeah. So anyway, so that was my initial reality check moment, and then after that, I was just concerned, like when I get there, like how are we gonna talk? I don't even have a phone, like of course during that time it's not like the time where like phones are prevalent.
Yeah,
So
FaceTiming.
yeah, I was like such a
Yeah.
like because like yeah. So anyway, I was just concerned with the initial, like, how's this gonna work? I mean, I know I've promised someone that in Tamgoja na it's gonna happen, but how is it really gonna work? So those initial stages was full of questions,
Yeah.
with of course no answers.
When you talk about how we're gonna talk and all that, those are some of the things that you're going to be concerned about, because it's not about how am I going to see her, it's about how we're going to talk.
For
Remember, the
sure.
communication
Yeah.
part of it is not, it's not something, and I think that's the number one challenge that
Oh yeah.
now we start facing,
Yeah.
like how we're going to talk,
Yeah.
what time, because
Yep.
there's like time differences
For
and all that.
sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and I was actually because at the time, like people say,
yeah,
people say that the time difference thing.
yeah,
I wasn't taking it like as serious as I should, maybe,
yeah,
because it was during that time when I landed. I'm like, oh, it's day here, but it's night there, so I can't even tell you that I've landed.
yeah.
I don't even have the phone to tell you that I've landed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
And,
so
and even if you have the phone, how do you make calls here? Because it's not like back in Kenya where
yeah,
just unafinya tu namba ya mtu,
it's not
there's a
straightforward like
process.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so those kind of things, because of them, oh my god, I have just ventured into this thing that I have like literally no experience in, and it was really scary, to be honest, because you don't know, like, it was very scary.
Yeah.
It was very scary how I'm gonna maintain
Because you still
this.
had your doubts, like.
Of course, everybody has their doubts. Like, are they thinking about me? Like,
Uh-huh.
is she gonna take this as serious as I'm gonna take it?
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. So those kind of things. I mean, of course, you get questions too.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, Ujama,
sure.
like, does he understand what you're getting yourself into?
Mm-hmm.
Ako serious really.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody would have those kind
And
of.
remember, like, si huyu jamaa anajua tu peke yake, like, I have other lots of friends.
Yeah.
I don't know if tukianza kuinteract na those friends, I don't know how they're gonna affect my thinking about like love, like loving someone from far. So like thinking about all those things, like already ushaanza kujudge like how people gonna like receive it, when you're having like the social interactions with people and everyone is talking about their relationships and all that. So imagine umeanza kufikiria like, okay, umeanza kuintroduce your relationship to your friend and you're like, oh, my boyfriend is just left to America. Oh my goodness, the first thing watakuambia,
good luck huyo ameenda sahau huyo ataenda wapi? America. Hiyo sahau.
America ndio hakuna wasichana.
Ataenda wewe wazuri.
No, that's just a conversation. Yes, of course, rafiki yako atafikiria hivyo, they are not in the same shoe as you. That's just a conversation. But once you're back in the house or somewhere by yourself, you start thinking, oh, nani ukweli, by the way.
Yep. Yeah, at that time, of course, you put on a brave face. You're like, what you're building is real. Tunatoana mbali. Yeah, he promised me. He told me the goals, the visions, all these things. They're only important to you. Everybody else, when they hear about long distance relationship, they're like, good luck.
Are you
God
sure?
bless your heart.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Even not just friends, even your own parents,
even family.
Yeah, they're gonna be like scared for you.
Yeah, for sure, and it's because they care. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
So initially, those are some of the things that were going through my mind. And then I was literally scared. But at the same time, I wanted to maintain this. I wanted to keep this. I was sure I wanted to be in a relationship with you. So that's why I was like, you know what, whatever comes, I'm in. I'm gonna be invested. I'm in. Like I'll keep my promise, and it's starting off like this, but I'll keep my promise. So yeah. So
let's talk about trust. What was it like?
So with this, so let's say this: relationships are hard in general, right?
In general, yeah.
In general, hard.
Yeah.
So now, introduce another aspect of
Of
distance,
distance. Uh-huh.
right?
Yes.
So you're like, my goodness, when this person is not close to me, right? Are they going to be disciplined enough to maintain this, to maintain what we
What you
have?
started, yeah.
When this, even you individually, right?
Yes, yes.
Am I strong enough?
Strong enough? Exactly.
Faced with
Yeah.
situations, am I strong enough to repel them and be like, listen, I'm staying true to my word. I'm keeping my relationship very like very like grounded, and I don't want anything that's gonna like interfere with that, you know.
Yeah.
So the trust, if the initial goal was to establish trust, how do you establish trust, especially with the distance thing, right? Is by making sure that you are, first of all, if you say we're gonna talk at a particular time, try and make it happen, right?
At
If
that
you're gonna
particular time.
try and make
Yes.
it happen,
Yeah.
because if you say you're gonna call me at 4 p, right, and then you don't call me at 4 p, you don't call me at 6 p, you don't even call me at all that day, right? I'm gonna be like, na kwani anafanya nini?
Or even call and they don't pick up.
Oh, they don't pick up, especially they don't pick up. Kwani anafanya nini? You know, so like
No trust issues zinaanza kuingia.
zinaanza hapo hivi.
Yeah.
So if you say you're gonna like call, or if you say you guys are gonna have a date,
Yeah.
you know, like over the phone and stuff like
Yeah.
that, like you want to make sure that you actually fulfill it.
Yes.
You know, so you have to keep your promises. You have to, it's the small things.
Yeah.
When in a long distance relationship, it is the small things, honestly.
Yeah.
Communication is big, right?
Yeah.
It might be small, but communication is big.
Yeah.
You have to be loyal in terms of even when you're by yourself and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You have to be loyal.
Yeah.
And yeah, you have to you have to make sure that you bring this other person, even though they are away from you.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that you bring them in your daily life.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if you can, when you wake up,
Yeah.
call them.
Yeah.
Nimeamka, mimi najitayarisha, nataka kwenda job,
Yeah.
nataka kwenda shule.
Yeah.
You know, before you go to sleep, you call them. This is how my day was. How was your day? Stuff like that. That is
just for them to feel
yeah, like they're part of it.
Yeah, exactly.
They are part of your day.
Yeah.
You know, they're part of it when you go to sleep. When you wake up, they wake up with you. So even it makes it feel like distance does not is not there.
barrier,
you know, because you're constantly updating each other, and that's how you build also trust. You know, anajua time fulani anakuwa anafanya kitu fulani, najua uenda bed like 10, maybe naweza mpigia
around
before your time, you know, so that ndio ni asiposhika, you know. So establishing trust is very big in the initial stages of a long distance relationship. Yeah. Did you have a difficult time establishing that?
Of course. Yes, I did. Yeah.
Why?
Mostly it's just like you mentioned, mostly of course na hizo doubts and mostly na hizo social interactions. When you have conversations with your friends, your family, your whatever concerning your relationship and all that, or even sometimes you just see girlfriend and a boyfriend walking together and all that, it's just like, this is a kind of life I would like kwa nini alienda, by the way?
Yeah.
You know,
the
like,
longings
the longings and all, now it's zinaanza kukick in and you're like, I don't know, like I'm not sure, like I don't know why, you know, I don't know why I'm in this, I'm not sure if it's gonna work, you know, that's kind of mistrust, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I wouldn't necessarily say is a mistrust, but I think it's when you start questioning, you know, you know, why, you know,
yeah,
it's not like you're mistrusting, it's just questioning why. You don't feel like you trust them to make the right decision. You don't feel like you trust them to maintain this. And it's pretty normal. Like I mean, I was there. I totally understand some of the phases that you have to go through. Like long distance relationship has stages that you have to go through,
of
right?
course, yeah.
That's just one of it, and you know, unfortunately, we all have to go through that.
Kwanza kama uja accept kwanza.
Yeah, especially kama uko in denial that, you know.
I remember there's a time, I think I know, like we're gonna get into this, but I remember there's a time, I think it's the second time that you visited home. A time JKIA ilichomeka, and that was a week after you left. Oh my goodness, hiyo siku niliuliza Mungu, kwa nini haikuchomeka kabla aende?
So
Ndio at
that
least they delay.
oh, ntakiangi.
Yeah, seriously. Oh yeah, I remember kwanza ilikuwa on a Sunday morning, nikajiambia like, Mungu, seriously, why singechomeka kabla aende? At
Yeah,
least I would have like
longer.
yeah.
You just want to like prolong time, make sure that each time
Exactly. Yeah.
it's
And the fact that hata mkionana time is limited is still not, it makes it more difficult for
that
you
was a hard
guys.
one. I gotta give you props though, man.
Yeah.
If I think there's nobody else I'd rather do this with. You showed a strong character. You showed like patience, resilience, and faith was a big part of it. You know, just believe in God and knowing that God is not gonna put you in a situation where He's gonna embarrass you, and just holding on to that. That one was big.
For
So
sure.
faith for sure comes in handy at that time. You know.
I don't know how true is this, but it's usually like what you wanna believe. It's easier for a lady to wait for a man than for a man to wait for a lady. Now in this instance, for example, kama ni mimi ningetoka Kenya niende US, unaona now ukiuliza, most people would think ati amgoja akiwa Kenya, like the husband, the guy, like it's hard for the guy to wait.
There's no way I'm going.
Yeah. Then I start thinking, okay, well, it's still the same because we're umeenda, so we are not close to each other and all that.
This is the thing. Like I don't understand why people think it's easier for one person than the other person.
Yeah.
Because the reality is you're away from each other. It doesn't mean where the location is.
Yeah.
You're still away from each other. It's not, and that's what the thing people are. And that's what some of the earliest doubts is Nagwanga, by the way. Wait, does he take this with the same magnitude that I'm taking?
Yeah, exactly.
Does he really feel like he distant? Like anaumia vemi naumia kweli. Anajua
and that believe that unajua Kenya.
Yeah.
Like
exactly, like it's like being in Kenya is a limiting factor. It's really
or
not.
Being in America and now
it's like
you can explore whatever
exactly.
you want to explore.
No, if anything, you would think Kenya would be like the place to explore because you have more people in Kenya.
Yes.
You know, and more places in Kenya. There's some freedom in Kenya. You know, like it's 24 hours, like 24/7 in Kenya. You know, so it's this. I wouldn't necessarily say like the one person is benefiting in terms of like
socialization.
In terms of a long distance relationship. No, it doesn't matter whether any like boy Amanda or the girl Amanda. All of them like are in this together. All of them are going to experience the same loneliness or the same loneliness, the same struggles that comes with it, trying to keep up with the relationship. It's not really like one person is better off than the other one. It is not like one person it's easier for one person to personally I don't think that's it's a factor. Personally I don't think that's I really don't think so. How about Nini? Because so when it comes to loyalty then, right? Because that's a of course it goes hand in hand with trust, loyalty. So even initially, right? Even though we're still getting to know each other, right? There's some level of accountability that you need to have, right? You have to put yourself you have to make sure that you put yourself in situations where it's not gonna put your loyalty at risk.
Yes.
Yes. Especially early stages, right? So you have to personally hold yourself accountable, right? If you put yourself in situations where you might be tempted to do something, then you're responsible for that. You cannot blame the relationship, right? You can if I was not in a you chose to do it.
Yes.
Right? And it's your responsibility, and you cannot fault the other person for being in a long distance relationship with you. You fall in love with a person, and pretty much the goal is to continue to grow that, continue to explore that, continue to make this into something that is strong and long lasting and is a source of your joy, comfort, a source of your happiness sometimes, not fully, but a source of your happiness, a source of solace, home, family, So when you put yourself in situations where that one is going to be tamper with, then is your
It's your
responsibility.
responsibility, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you cannot be doing, like, for example, small mistakes. Let me not call them small mistakes, because a mistake is a mistake, and then start blaming
The
the distance
relationship.
or
No,
the
you cannot.
relationship. You
No.
know, if you're here,
Yeah.
maybe I
You
would
know, if
not
you
have done that.
no,
Yeah.
cannot, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's a selfish thing to do. So that one is the other factors, and then that was the reality that had to settle in.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And how about when it comes to, let's say, family and stuff like that? Like, do you think you felt the pressure to tell family what you're going through, so they can support you through it?
You know, for the longest time, this is funny because the only time that I felt the pressure to want, let me say specifically, my mom to know that I'm in a relationship, and it's not just a relationship, it's a long distance relationship. I think that was 2 years after you left.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So all these challenges, I would say the one and only person that knew about it, because this time I was already in college, was my best friend, Sarah. Yeah. Huyo ndo aliona everything.
And Vinny, of course.
Crying. Yeah, and Vinny, of course. Oh, that's another person. Like, I would call anytime, crying sometimes, you know. And I don't know where the crying was coming from, but just the mismatch and all that. Yeah. So
man, the crying thing.
Sarah amekuwa like a shoulder to lean on during those times, because I remember one day we had a difference, and we were like, you know what, that's it. I think that was our first year in 2012. 2012. Yeah.
Sarah cast me out, man.
Yeah.
Sarah did call me out. She called me out on that one for sure. Yeah, but I give you props though. Yeah, I needed it. I needed someone to keep me in check.
She stood in like she
big
was
sister.
My big sister. Yeah, and of course, like to answer your question, the reason is why I didn't like tell mom from our earliest stage, or our earliest start from our long distance relationship. It's already like okay, can you imagine me going, like, I was just imagining me going to talk to my mom about like having a boyfriend. You know, see it, my mom was that mkali or anything, but I didn't find the courage to. Yeah. So the only time that I had now, like I felt the pressure to tell her is someone was trying to pursue me.
Yeah.
And they watu huku nje wako na courage. So after hatujakubaliana, he went ahead and called mom and akasema and all that. So later on nikitoka shule, I came home and mom was like, I feel like we need to talk. And then I'm like, oh. No, in fact, she made a joke about it.
Yeah.
Then I was like, wait a minute, did this guy call you? So yeah, akaniambia like so and so called me, mtu najua na nimjuie mama najua, so called me, and then kwa nini like kukubaliana, or it's good to give someone a chance. And I'm like, wait a minute, do you know what you're doing? Like, unajua mimi niko na mtu, like of course I did. Like, but at that moment, that's when I felt the pressure to mention to her, because she mentioned that hajasikia nikimwambia anything about being in a relationship. And I'm like, okay, sasa nitamwambia kweli. Then she mentioned, akasema, there's someone I know, akaanza kucheka tu, like it's a joke, but nikaa kuna point anajaribu kunini. So I was like, mom, I know you're concerned and all that. So actually, I'm in a relationship.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's not just a relationship.
It's
a long distance relationship.
Like,
so I said, listen, niko huku, yes, but my person, the reason why hata umuonangi mimi nikiwa na shughuli is because the person is in the US. Then she's like, wait a minute, in the US? Okay. Umeamua hivi. Are you sure? Like, unajua hii ni maisha gani? Like, so nikamwelezea, and later on, of course, you guys got to talk and all that. But to answer your question, that's how like I was pressured, like to let her know. But kama sio hiyo, of course. For Sarah, honestly, she was such a support system to me. Yeah.
Sarah was a big one. She she was very encouraging. She stood with you
Yeah.
like a big sister.
Yeah.
She supported you through
Yeah.
your time you kunafika kama uko low kabisa.
Yeah.
And so yeah, Sarah, I appreciate you. You've been a real one.
And you know what I'm learning from this
Yeah.
is that your circle matters.
For sure.
Your circle really matters, and
Yeah.
especially when you're in a certain situation.
Mm.
Yeah, like for you, your story with Sam, my story with Sarah and Vin, and just everyone else that was close to me. Honestly, like I feel like they really matter. They really matter
For
in
sure.
all aspects of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those who are in a long distance relationship or are away from their loved ones, the people you keep closer to you really, really are big. So choose carefully, choose wisely. Don't choose people who are gonna like discourage you from continuing to pursue what you think is right.
Yeah.
And what you think is true and real. So yeah, just surround yourself with people who are gonna like be your source of hope and strength.
Yeah.
When you start feeling like doubts are kicking in, because there are gonna be moments where you're gonna start doubting like if this is the right thing to do. You're gonna have moments when you start doubting like if this was a good idea.
Yeah.
So you need people who are gonna give you the strength to continue and support you through it.
Yes.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to have a couple of friends that were there for me. I mean, Sam was there for me, Victor was there for me, Tash was there for me, and so I appreciate those people that I had in my life, and yeah, and in yours as well. You're grateful to have people
exactly.
Are there any people you want to give a shout out?
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah.
If I start like giving, like mentioning one by one, we're gonna tutalala.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, but honestly, like my circle wanajijua, and I really appreciate your support from the word go mpaka like nikuja ku close our 9-year long distance relationship journey. Yeah, so the fact is, yeah.
Hey guys, this video was so random. We were just having a just casual conversation,
yeah.
And then I told her, well, I want to just record it. So
yeah,
this first of all, I want to apologize if it's not as formal as it should be. We just are vibing, and I thought maybe we should just share with you guys what was going through our head initially when we started embarking on this one.
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys found some things you can relate to. And for those who are in a long distance relationship, hopefully you found a place where you can feel like you can resonate with our process.
Yes.
And wishing you guys all the best. Please stay in there, hang tight, stay strong.
Yeah.
It's definitely
doable
for sure. We're able to do it, and so should you. And yeah. Looking forward to seeing you guys on the next video.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for for continuing subscribing and liking our videos, and the support you've been giving us has been immense. We see it. We see your comments. We see you supporting us, and we want to say thank you so much for that. Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate your support. We really appreciate the fact that you're walking in this journey together with us. You started with us and you're walking with us. We don't take that for granted. Keep watching. Let's meet in the next episode.
And I'll see you soon then.
Bye-bye.